Hey guys, this is Steven from the Green Engineers, and welcome to another one of my 11 minute update video. So today we're going to be talking about the fila factory, its current progress, and the other project's progress. So first, biggest news update is that obviously I'm getting closer to graduation. My last video, I believe I was 1 month out. Now I'm about 2 weeks exactly. Today is May 2nd. I finished my last final on May 16th, and I graduate May 24th. So this guy, the fila factory, I'm presenting May 8th, and also I am presenting it in front of the board. Board just asked me to present, so I need to finish this guy up. I'll show you guys what I need to finish. I think it's 10th. So I have to present this on the 10th, so I have quite a bit to finish here. And then if we have some time, I'll talk about kind of all the other projects, the extruder. So version 1, multi-extruder, finishing that, and then also the shredder. So obviously the multi-extruder will share the same exact firmware with this guy. Obviously it's just going to have steppers over the regular motors. So I'm going to talk about that. So here is the fila factory stuff. Which is basically the second version of multi-extruder. It's just easier to produce multi-extruder that I could go in mass production with. Here is my finished barrel, actually almost finished. So here is the hole of which the pellets go through. I forgot to grab my hopper actually. So basically the hopper sits here and it has a little hole. And then I have a little patch piece that I'm going to glue on there that's 3D printed as a separate piece. I glue it onto the hopper and I glue it on here. And it passes the pellets in through this hole into the side of the barrel. Now, we ran out of time because, as I said in my last video, the long update video, the shop is going under again. So the shop .build in San Jose, they might be able to bring San Francisco back. I'm not quite sure. So because of that, I basically ran out of time to do my own my own fourth axis screw. But I do have the design for the fourth axis screw. I just don't have the machinery right now to do it, nor the time. So we're going back with the standard wood auger with the cuts, no changing in diameter, constant pitch, and constant diameter, flute diameter. Obviously, I just cut the end off yesterday and finished off the rest of the machining. So this guy fits really nice in here. And there's a little bit of a burr here somewhere, so it gets caught when I put it all the way in. But if I get it out, here we go. As you see, it'll basically spin like that. There's a burr up. I think this is really rough right here. But you can see there, it's really tight. So that obviously goes in there. And then as you see, I have an opening here. So I need to close that. So basically what I did is I machined that down. This usually is pitched like so at the very end there. And now I have a little shoulder here. As you guys can see, there's a little shoulder there. Thrust bearing goes on, and now the thrust bearing covers the hole. So now when you put it in, we have just enough room for air to leak out, to get out. And then probably how I'll have this sit is I'll have this sit with this piece riding over the same piece as that. So basically like that. And then I made a serious mistake when I designed this, that I was going to originally drill the hole through these two. And the motor's going to sit like this. I'll show you guys the motor in a second. But I was originally going to drill the hole here, but if I drill a hole here, I'll drill right through my mounting hole that mounted to this bracket. So basically I made a star. So now it'll be basically like this. So it'll mount like this, and obviously there'll be a gap, and I slotted this just to have a little bit of room. So these were the original two mounting holes, and I just added these slots yesterday. So it's basically going to go like this, hold the thrust bearing in, just like that, and then hold the motor on. And here is my big old NEMA 23 that's going to be on this guy. I think it's a 2.8 amp, so that'll be perfect for a dual H bridge as long as I don't overload it. So basically how that will look as the bracket goes on there, like so. And then this guy, I also drilled this guy out. This is a 60 tooth. Gt2 belt goes on it just like that, and I see that my shaft is perfect length, so that's good. And then this guy goes in here, and then there will probably be insulation on this guy, so it goes kind of something like that with this guy here, and then a regular 16-tooth pulley on this side that goes here with a Gt2 belt. Speaking of Gt2 belt, I don't even know where that is. I might have to order another one of those. It's a loop, but it should fit perfectly on here. I might need to slot out these holes just to get it to where I can pull it around, or I could move this guy. I have a little bit of play back and forth. I could just use that to kind of tighten it because these are slotted. Okay, so now for pretty much everything. Oh, and here's my nozzle. I had an issue with the nozzle. I should have probably threaded it, and this is all, you know, a big learning experience for me. That's why I really like it. I should have threaded the giant along the piece before I cut this out, so I could just cut it and it would already be threaded. So I could also thread the same in the barrel. So this is going to be a 1 1/8 right here. And then I tried this, a 1 1/8 7 threads per inch die. But obviously this one that I bought was a rethreading die, which I was hoping was going to work. So obviously here it is not going to work. And even if it did work, there's only going to be like 1 or 2 threads in here. It says 7 threads per inch. And this is about, what, half an inch? This is about an inch. So it'll be about 3.5 threads here, which is definitely not a lot. And then thread the barrel. And you can see here how much room I have left. I got plenty of room, which I think it's ending at the perfect spot. So one of the thoughts that I have is use the rest of the stock that I have and make one without a hex. The hex is just to help me remove it when it gets here. What I'm thinking is just making a longer piece, buying the tap, because I actually bought the tap, and then it was in these motor boxes. I didn't see it somehow I didn't see a tap that was this big around and like that long, and I threw it away. I doubt it was even in the box, so I'm gonna call up Amazon and say, hey, you guys said it was in the box. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the box. So tap this hole out to the 1 1/8 7. And then also for the barrel, let's go ahead and pull all this stuff out. I need to drill the holes to put in my thermisistors. So I need to drill here. I need to drill like a hole here. Drill a hole somewhere, probably here, right there. And then put the thermistor. Put the thermistor in there. Then I need to put my 2 heater cartridges, my 40-watt heater cartridges. I don't know if these are, and obviously I need to make those holes deeper. Originally it was going to be on this side, but I went with the NPT thread. I decided to go against that, so I just made this the back side now. And then I went through and I used the boring bar to bore all this out so it clears. So these are the right depths, but these are not the right depths. So I'm going to have to go in and make these a little bit deeper. I used a 1/4 inch in there to make those guys a little bit deeper. So that's kind of it. And then here we have my winder, or my spooler, I guess you would say. So basically what's going to be inside is, inside the fill factory for right now, is something very, very similar to this guy. But again, it's going to use this, and this is going to be on here, and then this is going to be located off like this, most likely, so that we could get the most space, so we can make this spool really, really big. So this center piece could be really big. Thus, we don't have a lot of stress when we're winding really, really tight with this guy with a 3.5 step down. So it's going to be really, really high torque pulling on this guy, pulling that filament to size. And obviously, because it's going to be like this, it's going to be kicked out like this, and this is going to be like that. I'm going to get it to be very, very low profile. So it's going to go like that, and then this is going to be mounted to the drive cone. 2 drive cones with cork here. You use a custom spool that we'll give you one when you buy one. We'll give you one, and a printed one, and then we'll give you the file, and you can print as many as you want. But it's basically the same as a regular spool, except for this is a lot bigger. And this centerpiece, I believe, is a lot bigger. So I think it's like double the size. It's like 5 inches tall, 4 inches tall. So this here is probably about 3 inches. So it's about another inch or so. So this is going to be quite a bit bigger. And I think the diameter is around the same. So that way, when we pull really tightly around this center stock, it doesn't get a lot of stress at end. So you're still at the very bottom of the spool, or the very start of the spool, still all that filament's usable. Okay, here's the drill bit I used to drill. Basically, I drilled the hole 2 sides, and then I tried to, because this was cheap, try to get drilling or grinding a flute to let the chips out, but chips wouldn't come out there anyways. So I had to drill one side, drill the other side, and then I did a boring bar because the 2 axes on 3-draw weren't right. So, and finally, here's the last piece I have to show you guys. Actually, I have one more piece. This is just a 15-watt, 12-volt heater. These are 90% efficient. So this is going to dump another 10-12 watts into the housing in order to heat everything else up. So we're going to use all of that efficiency to heat the entire enclosure. And then we'll have this guy servo driven, most likely for right now. Maybe eventually go to steppers, but the same winder inside. We'll use this guy on this guy for right now. Alright, so I'll give you guys updates probably by the end of next week. I'll have a video of this guy. I'm still about 50% sure I'm going to get into Maker Faire. I'm still on the wait list, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. So that's basically what we have going for right now. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching.